Right, well, it's time to put my neck out on the line and risk a bad like to dislike ratio, and I'm proud to do that, and I'll happily take those dislikes if people disagree with me here, but I just watched Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje in the main event of UFC 249. It was supposed to be Khabib versus Ferguson. They changed it. The whole shit happened. Everyone knows. Let's talk about the fucking fight. Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. A lot of people, after the fight was done, tell me Gaethje was destroying Tony Ferguson. I had Gaethje up 4 rounds. Gaethje would have won it dominantly. Tony didn't even win a fucking round. I'm telling you guys, and I was commentating this fight live on my Fight Companion. People were calling me biased. I think that it wasn't domination from Gaethje. First of all, though, before we even get into all of that, I need to say this. Gaethje fucking is he's a monster. Justin Gaethje, regardless of anything I'm about to say in this video, for the next few minutes, I need to get this 1 minute segment out of me. Justin Gaethje is a fucking monster. First of all, he was 100% in shape to go here. He said it, I now believe him because Jesus Christ, he fucking showed it. He said, I've been getting ready because I feel like if anyone falls out here, this is my chance to get in there in the title picture and not get passed up by McGregor. I believe him. He was in ridiculous shape to go 5 rounds. There is no way that he started his camp 4 weeks ago. It's literally impossible to do that because we've seen him on a full camp, gas out to Poirier and Eddie Alvarez. He's been training for this fight. He really has, and he took it very well. He also kept the pace down, which is a great thing that not a lot of people can do against Ferguson. You know how he kept the pace down? He stopped Ferguson's momentum coming forward by landing the big shots that he did, which means that Ferguson must have respected Gaethje's power enough to not really do what Ferguson does, like against Anthony Pettis, and just go balls to the wall, I'm going to unload everything and you're going to gas out and not me. Gaethje had respect from Ferguson, and that's what you need to do to Ferguson. Gaethje was landing big fucking shots throughout the fight that would stop Ferguson in his tracks. Ferguson would react well to him, though. He wouldn't get rocked all of the time. You know, he got rocked here and there in some of the rounds, but he took the shots well. He got straight back to work, poked the jab, attacked the legs. Gaethje was doing good leg kicks as well. Gaethje was throwing a lot of haymakers, though. But Justin Gaethje is a monster, and Khabib versus Gaethje is going to be crazy. I just need to get that out there. Now let's talk about the controversy, where I'm going to start to reel in the fucking dislikes on this video. I don't think Gaethje was winning. I'm so sorry I've now said that. I think if that fight went to a decision, Gaethje might have lost 3 rounds to 2. I don't know if anyone else out there feels that way, or if I have completely misread the whole fight and I need to go back and rewatch it tomorrow morning when it's not 7 AM, which it is right now. I'm just saying, oh, it already is tomorrow morning, maybe I'll rewatch it now. Either way, I think that Tony Ferguson, if that went to a decision, could have had that in the judge's hands, which changes my opinion on the stoppage. I get a lot of people's opinion here, and now I've had time to reflect in silence. I get a lot of people's opinion here. If you thought Gaethje was winning, I am okay with you being okay with the stoppage then. But for me, who thought that Gaethje needed a finish in the 5th, and I know that sounds crazy again to people because I was getting it throughout the entire fight. Dude, why are you being so biased? And I'll take you through my definition of the fight. I don't think it should have been stopped. First of all, let's talk about the stoppage before I run you through the entire fight. Ferguson shook his head after being hit with a huge punch like this. To me, he's getting blood out of his eyes because there was blood all in his eyes. So he went like this. He then touched his face and went like this again. People say he was shaking his head at Herb. That's not what was happening. He was moving away. He was very rocked. I understand that he was very fucking rocked. I really understand that, please. I get that he was badly hurt. I really do. But I also understand that in a minute's time after that, Ferguson might get his hand raised. For the people that thought that Gaethje was winning the whole fight, I understand why you justify the stoppage. Gaethje was winning, Ferguson wouldn't have won if it went to the distance, but I'm arguing back to you. I think Ferguson was up 3-1 on rounds before the 5th. Dislike away. I've said it. 3-1 to Ferguson before the 5th, and I'm going to run you through my decision-making process by bringing up the UFC stats that have had an official recount now, because they're different than the ones that were on the schedule. These ones are on the website. I'm even going to refresh the page just in case they've updated them again. They haven't, thank God. I would have been embarrassed live on video. The first round, Tony Ferguson's walking down Justin Gaethje the entire time. Gaethje lands the bigger shots. Ferguson lands 29 strikes to Gaethje's 26. I thought Ferguson won that round. Gaethje was landing bigger shots, but in the first round, Ferguson wasn't rocked by them like he was in the fourth, like he was in the fifth. The first round, they were both having good shots. Ferguson was landing too. He was never rocked and his legs never went funny. He took big shots, but he bounced right back and got right back to work. And outstruck Justin Gaethje and had forward momentum all on top of it. Okay, even though forward momentum doesn't mean much, it's just another thing to chuck in on a guy who's already, in my opinion, winning the round. I thought Ferguson won round one. I really did. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the stats. He did. Because he landed more. He had the whole pressure the entire round. Gaethje landed some bigger shots, don't get me wrong, but none of them rocked Ferguson. So who are we to judge bigger shots? Do we favour the guy who throws the bigger shots? I don't fucking know. I thought Ferguson got round one. Outlanded him, walked him down. Second round, Gaethje was winning the round. He was up by 4 strikes. Gaethje was winning the round though. I will justify that. Gaethje had bigger moments. He even hurt Ferguson at one point. That was when the shots started to make Ferguson's legs go a bit, because obviously he's getting more tired as the fight goes on. Stance is going to change. Also, the shots from Gaethje, he was finding the target a little bit more often, which is going to leave you less time to recover in between the big shots, which is going to lead to them having more of an effect on you when they do land. The second round, though, Ferguson dropped Gaethje, and Gaethje's knee hit the floor and his hands hit the floor to stop him from falling down. That's a knockdown to me. They didn't score it as a knockdown, and they haven't scored a single knockdown in the entire fight. Ferguson knocked down Gaethje at the end of round 2, and for the people that say, dude, Gaethje got right back up, that's also because the bell sounded, and Ferguson could not continue. 2 seconds left in that round, Ferguson's on top of Gaethje trying to beat the shit out of him. Okay? Ferguson steals round 2 by knocking Gaethje down at the end of it. Dislike away. He outlanded him. He didn't outland him. He was being outlanded minorly. Gaethje was landing the bigger shots. Ferguson drops him. I'm giving the round 10-9 to Ferguson. 2-0 Ferguson. At this point, I'm being berated by my stream, who are saying that I'm being biased, which I don't get. But I had it 2-0 Ferguson because he dropped Gaethje at the end of round 2, and I gave him that round. Round 3. Ferguson outlands Gaethje again. And I understand that, but Gaethje, and here's where I'm willing to give you some leeway, Ferguson only outlanded Gaethje by 4 strikes, according to the stats. But Gaethje landed way more fucking heavy shots, and he rocked Ferguson on a few occasions, and it was noticeable that Ferguson was rocked. It wasn't just that Ferguson's head flew back and the shot looked big. It was that Ferguson was noticeably hurt by them. He readjusted, he recalibrated, and he got back to work, but the shots showed effect on Ferguson. They rocked him a bit. You know, you could see it on his face, like a little shake off, just, alright, that was a big shot, I'm going to try again, but that was a fucking big shot. And Gaethje was landing a lot of those big shots in round 3, so I'm giving Gaethje the round, even though he got outstruck, because he landed all the big shots. No one has any problem with round 3 scoring. Everyone knows that's going to Gaethje. He landed way bigger shots. I fucking get it. Round 4, Tony Ferguson outstruck Gaethje by 10 strikes. 36-26. That is a big, big percentage to outstrike someone, and a percentage of strikes to increase on someone that I'm not willing to make up for with bigger shots. Did Gaethje land big on Ferguson in round 4? Yes. Did he stumble Ferguson back a little bit? Yeah. Ferguson outlanded him by 10 strikes, 36-26. I thought he did very good there. Very fucking good. Gaethje was doing well, don't get me wrong, but Ferguson again landed way more. Landed very good shots. The front kicks to the body were good. The jabs to the body were good. The jabs from Ferguson were good. The straight lefts from Ferguson were good that round. Gaethje rocked him a couple times. Ferguson outstruck him by 10 points. You understand me? I'm giving Ferguson that round. I might have to rewatch it, but I'm giving Ferguson that round, and I did live as well. I thought Ferguson was up 3-1 going into the 5th, man. And that's where I have a problem with the stoppage. The commentary had no problem with the stoppage. The commentary thought that maybe Gaethje was winning every round. A lot of people didn't have much of a problem with the stoppage. I was shocked by the stoppage, because I thought Ferguson was up 3-1. Can you understand why I'm shocked at the stoppage there? I know he was hurt, and let's talk about the stoppage now. I get that Ferguson was hurt, and people want to say, you know what, Ferguson shook his head at the referee. I get that as well. I also understand that Ferguson had blood in his eyes. And sometimes when you get hit by a big haymaker, you don't look normal afterwards. You don't just look fine. I don't understand the narrative that that stoppage was okay when a minute later, if Gaethje doesn't 10-8 that round, Ferguson might get his hand raised by the judges. And I was calling this throughout the fight. I said it to my fans. They were calling me biased. They said, you don't know this, you don't know that. But I was counting strikes every fucking round. I was counting the effective ones. I was weighing them up. And I was thinking to myself, people might be upset with a decision here if everyone thinks that Gaethje is winning. Okay? People might be. If this goes to a decision, I can see people being upset with a decision, but I will justify it. I thought Ferguson was winning coming up to that fifth, and a minute left. If Gaethje doesn't 10-8 that, it could have been 3-2 Ferguson. I think if we saw those scorecards, and I can't wait to see the scorecards, because I feel like maybe they would be in favour of Gaethje, but who knows? Maybe someone's seeing what I'm seeing here. We don't know that. I think, and listen to me here, I just burped. I think that stoppage in any other fight makes complete sense. But when the stoppage in the fight of Ferguson-Gaethje, like that, where Ferguson is hurt, I understand. I understand he's hurt and nobody wants to see him get put out cold. The stoppage in that fight maybe should have been taken a little bit more into consideration based on the fact that this was one of the biggest fights in UFC history. One of the biggest fights in UFC history also was coming up in the future if Ferguson did win. Okay? There's a belt on the line. There's a 12-fight win streak on the line. I thought it was a little bit jumpy of a stoppage. Gaethje was rocking him. He was dominating that fifth round. Not quite 10-8 worthy yet. He could have got there in the end, and he might have got there in the end anyway, which by my judging would have had it a draw. Okay? And that might have happened. I don't like the stoppage, man. I also don't like the stoppage. First of all, amazing fight, and I'm glad I said that at the start. I'm just going to get all my arguments out here. It's bad for Gaethje now. I know Gaethje won, and that's great for Gaethje because the stoppage happened, but the stoppage, that don't go viral. You know? Ferguson shook his head after being hit with a haymaker. Should he have nodded? Like, what? I don't understand what the argument for the stoppage was there. Tony was hurt. Okay. They're in a fight. Guys get hurt. Do you want to stop it there? I get Ferguson was taking big shots, but Jesus Christ, he outlanded Gaethje round 1. Didn't get rocked there. Gave him that one. Outlanded Gaethje by 10 strikes in round 2, 36-26. Got rocked in that round. I still gave him it. He was walking him down. Walking Gaethje down that round. Round 3, I give to Gaethje all day. Even though he got outstruck, Ferguson's weren't the best of shots that round. Gaethje's were great shots. He rocked him a couple times. I'm willing to make up for the small difference in strikes because Gaethje landed the way bigger shots. We all get that. Round 2, Ferguson dropped him and stole the round. I think people would have been very surprised if we got to a decision. I can't wait to see those scorecards. Hopefully they don't fuck me in my ass, as the Americans would say. I was not happy with the stoppage. But, you know, we're moving on. Khabib versus Gaethje is going to be great, by the way. Gaethje did not call out Conor McGregor on the microphone. Let's talk about that for a second. Gaethje could have got the McGregor payday, threw the belt on the floor, says he doesn't even want it. I want the real one. I like that. That's a good bit of promo. The stoppage ain't going to be a good bit of promo. Because the stoppage is Ferguson shaking his head to get blood out of his eyes and Herb Dean stepping in. The stoppage is not Gaethje landing a big shot. The stoppage is not them two staring each other down after a war. You know? And the bell sounds, because that's not a stoppage at all, so it wouldn't be the stoppage. But that's not the promo. The promo is Gaethje landed a 1-2 in the 5th round and Ferguson didn't laugh about it. He looked upset that he was hit with a haymaker. And he looked hurt by the haymaker. Because when guys get hit by haymakers, they're not allowed to get hurt, otherwise the ref's going to step in. I think it's very important here to call out this stoppage, because when, and another one happened on the card that I'm going to make a reaction video to, Cruz Cejudo, you set the bar a bit lower, you move the goalpost a bit further away. When you don't criticize some of these actions, You start letting them happen a bit more often. I'll be surprised to see what happens and what the reaction is to this video. Please don't just blindly dislike it. Please hear me out until the end. I can't wait for Khabib versus Gaethje, by the way. That's going to be a sick fight. Like, Gaethje with a takedown defense. We didn't even see it in this fight because Ferguson didn't have fight IQ. He was just kind of walking down Gaethje. And Ferguson, in my opinion, this fight said, you know what? How does Gaethje win? Let's see if he can. Why? Why wouldn't you shoot a takedown, Ferg? Why wouldn't you Imanari roll like I thought you were gonna? I thought Ferguson was gonna do things way differently than he did. Okay? But I can't wait for Khabib versus Gaethje though. That's a great fight. I don't know what Conor's gonna do now, because he's kind of left out, feeling weird. And he can't fight Ferguson, because Ferguson's gonna be off for a while. And people will say that he's got a worse version of Ferguson now that Gaethje beat him. So Conor's not gonna do that. He's gonna look for someone else. And he's already started trading barbs with Nate. He's trading barbs with Dustin. I don't give a fuck. Right now, I give a fuck about Khabib versus Gaethje, because Gaethje is sick. Like, even though I thought he was losing that fight, he could have won it in the end. Maybe he would have finished it anyway. I just want to know. You understand me, MMA fans out there? I just want to know sometimes, because guess what? No one remembers, and someone made this point in my chat before the end, no one remembers that John Jones versus Dominic Reyes was a fight of the year contender. No one remembers that. And me reminding you has probably made you think to yourself, that was actually a really good fight. He's right. People remember the bullshit robbery. Okay? It's going to take away from both guys' performance. Mainly Gaethje's. That's my points. And I'll wake up to see the like and dislike ratio. Who knows? Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. We'll see what the judges' scorecards come up with. Goodbye. But I think if Ferguson was up on the scorecards, maybe people will change their mind on the stoppage. See you later. Thank you for watching. Click that button there. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.